Hello, I'm Richard Bloomfield from NTI, bringing you this video showing you the capabilities of the NTI app for our exam training students, mainly to show you a new feature around an electronic study plan. So I'm just going to guide you through as sort of a tutorial video to show you exactly what we've been working hard on. I'm sure you're all familiar with the NTI app, saved here, of course, on my phone and our brilliant news feed written by the NTI newsroom. But I'm going to be showing you, of course, the exam training part of the app. I've done a tutorial video guiding you through all of the extensive things that we offer on the NTI app for our students, but I'll be mainly showing you a brand new feature. This is for our students to look at and potential students, potential clients who are thinking about their tuition providers, and showing you exactly what we can offer. So the NTI app, as far as we can see, the only insolvency exam training app on the market. And it's one that really gives our students the capabilities to have a dual approach. We strongly believe in face-to-face lecturing, but we also understand that students want the electronic content, the ability to learn on the go and have content available to them at all times outside of the lecture room. So we've endeavored to give the best of both worlds. Those that love the webcasts and that content have got it. Now, one thing, the feedback we're getting from our students is they'd love to have a study planner that fits neatly into this. We, of course, give our students a detailed week by week study planner, but at the minute it was a Word document or an Excel document. What we now have is an electronic study planner. So what you would do is you decide which exam you are studying for. Hopefully that's pretty easy, but I'm going to go into JAB, both papers. So I'm studying both personal and corporate. And this is the interface of our app, which I've shown you before, but this is our modular webcast, which is lectures on all of the areas of the syllabus, of which there's about 70, 80 per paper, an astonishing amount. There's live lecture recordings that we've done. There's some downloadable webcasts. All of our old webcasts are stored. There's pre-lecture webcasts talking you through what to expect on our face-to-face courses, touchscreen test sets, and then they can access their manuals on here. But now for our students, there is a brand new function here called a study planner. And it will bring up the 2021 study planner, because that is the year we're in, rather shockingly. And it loads up their study planner. This is the NTI study planner. It will have the function to tweak it. But I'm going through a sort of a standard NTI study planner, and it breaks it down week by what we think they should be doing. So week one, they should read our past inspiration manual, modules 1 and 2, talking through NTI's approach and the ideas of studying. If they're not sure what it means on the study planner, they can hit info, and it will tell them where to go. Read, understand, and make notes on the module of the past inspiration manual. So in their first week of study, they should then listen to 3 downloadable webcasts. Nice and straightforward, are webcasts covering hints and tips for the exams and how to study. So they can have a webcast called Where to Begin, Introduction to Study with NTI, and how the whole study support program works, and they submit questions for marking. Now, the real genius of this study plan is they've got it all to hand once they've watched the webcast, which they can do directly from the study planner. They click the webcast button and it will open the webcast that they are required to watch for that week. And they can watch it as usual. They can download it and watch it on the tube by downloading to watch offline, or listen to it with Wi-Fi immediately. 34 minutes of Neil's dulcet tones on that video. Close it down, and then they are able to tick it off, and it will highlight it in an orangey color. So they can now look at any stage and see what they've got to do for the rest of that week, or indeed the rest of their study year. Once they tick off everything under that section, it will also highlight the title, so they know they've watched all of their downloadable webcasts for that week. If they read the modules of 1 and 2 of past inspiration, it has now highlighted everything. They've actually completed their nice, easy first study week. And it goes through and through. Week 2, our JAB students they've got through their first phase of opening their books. They're now thinking about learning the law, what they need to do. And our study planners tie in exceptionally well with the face-to-face courses. So week 1, as you can see here, there's a number of webcasts for them to watch around options for directors, options for a bank, impact of rescue prior considerations. You can see, of course, our webcasts are all incredibly up to date. There's one on the restructuring plan and one on the new moratorium procedure. We're all slap bang up to date. And they watch those webcasts, they listen to those webcasts, and as it says here, I'm sure, make notes. We recommend you start your study week by listening to these as the first part of your note making. So they're constantly, or you, if you're listening as a student, are constantly guided through your studies. And again, the webcast simply pops open with a direct link from their planner. They don't really need to go anywhere other than this planner every single time they open the NTI app for their studies. Gets ticked off and highlights, same process. So week 1 has got the study support modular webcast to listen to. They should then read their common parts manual, which is all the stuff that all IPs should know. They should study SIP 1 and module 6 of that manual. That's also got some webcasts on those areas, so SIP 1, ethics and money laundering for them. 2 downloadable webcasts on making memorable notes, because they're now starting their note-taking phase, and how to use the software, a nice early webcast on the JIAB software. And then they also, at the end of this week, should they want to test their knowledge and what they've built up, they are able to do some testettes. So they can do a testette on options, introduction to the Red Book, SIP 1 and ethics, and money laundering, just to test their knowledge. So I'm going to go into the first one, which is options, pre-appointment and trading on. And again, they can link directly to the testette section of the app via the study planner. So some written questions here. What are the formal options? And they've got to write 7 answers where they would type their answer in here, as I'm sure you've seen before. And so on. And then there's some multiple choice questions as well to guide them through. Done that testette, and I'll tick it off. And if students maybe don't get time to do all of the testettes, they know which ones they've done to come back to maybe later in the year, or while they're on a long flight. Hopefully we'll be able to fly again this year in the summer. They're ideal to look back on and do them. And this goes through week by week, everything they need to know, webcasts, manuals, modules of the manuals, and the testettes that they are required to do. If they want to, at any one time, they can hit the drop down button here and they can select the week. So they can go automatically to the week they think they're on, week 10, and it will just show them all the entries they have to do for week 10. And this is just 1 week's amount of information that we are giving students to help them pass their exams. Now, of course, this isn't just for JIB. There's JIB corporate, there's JIB personal. So there is their own individual. So for corporate insolvency, there is their own individual study plan, which is similar in many ways, in most of the same webcasts, but of course, just not the personal insolvency ones. So they will look very, very similar. And again, they link through neatly through to whatever it is that you need to see. Interestingly, hot off the press, we have been notified by the joint board for those studying the JIB paper that the software will be changing, mainly due to the removal of Flash Player. So we'll be keeping our students up to date as soon as we get that. We'll be doing tutorial videos, etc. Exactly the same for the CPI suite of exams. They will now note that there's a study planner function at the bottom of their app. Very similar. Week 1, week 2. Here they've got their past inspiration manual as opposed to the common parts manual, the study support program, their modular webcasts, their common parts modular webcast, downloader webcast, and again, testettes. And as we know with the CPI suite of exams, there are huge amounts of multiple choice testettes on our app, which is so vital to passing the CPI, CPPI, and CPCI exams. And you can do the testettes. By the way, I'm seeing anything here, don't judge me. And as you know, the testettes bring up their rather pitiful score of 1 out of 10. And also brings up their answers. They can then say, I've done that, and tick it off. Links through. Once you've done it, tick it off. And that is exactly how our new study planners work. Every single piece of content, every single webcast that we prepare is given in a detailed study planner that now talks them through week by week and links them directly to where they need to go. If you're a current student, if you have any questions, of course, reach out to us at any time.